There is a Japanese doctor. I've been studying blood sugar for 58 years. He recently solemnly announced the root cause of diabetes has finally been discovered by him. Hear, hear. Now you might be wondering, this makes the world the culprit behind the sweet crisis of hundreds of millions of people. What is it? The story begins with diabetes itself. Diabetes is known as the sweet killer. It's not sweet at all. And the simple answer is this: it's in our blood. Excessive sugar content for a long time. Injury to various organs of the body. Healthy people finish their meal. Glucose from food enters the bloodstream. Insulin is the key. Is responsible for getting blood sugar into cells for fuel. It can be found in diabetics. This key doesn't work. Insufficient insulin secretion. Either the cells are ignoring him. As a result, glucose cannot enter the cells, accumulated in the blood. Over time, high blood sugar is like running a flood through your veins. Shock our hearts, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. Bring a chain of terrible complications. How is diabetes caused? Some people are born with defective islets. Daily insulin injections are required. This is type 1 diabetes, but more people have type 2 diabetes Hogan. Often in acquired habits, the doctors discovered that obesity, lack of exercise, too much pressure, etc., makes the body insensitive to insulin. However, among many factors, diet is undoubtedly the most critical and direct driving force. So our Japanese experts, lock your eyes on 3 meals a day, began a long journey to track down the real killer. The Japanese blood sugar expert, after decades of clinical research, finally pointed out important causes of diabetes. It lies in the way we consume carbohydrates. He discovered that not all foods make blood sugar spike. Biggest behind the scenes. Just some delicate and high glycemic staples. Swap with sugar. In other words, our daily dinner table. Seemingly ordinary foods. In fact, it is the main cause of high blood sugar. The first to be named is Sanbai food white rice. White flour products and white sugar. Imagine that. After a bowl of snow white rice, it breaks down into a large amount of glucose in a short time. Direct impact on blood vessels. The glycemic index GI value of 100 meters is as high as 80 or more. Means he will raise his blood sugar quickly. And white bread. Steamed buns are a staple food made of delicate flour. After going straight, it is closer to 90. It can be said that it has been transformed into sugar. As for white sugar, let alone granulated sugar, a sugary drink. A dessert. Blood sugar levels skyrocketed within minutes. Japanese experts lament, many people cannot eat 3 meals a day without these 3 whites. No wonder the body rides a blood sugar roller coaster every day, except for rice and pasta, some natural foods that we thought were healthy. There's a blood sugar trap, such as sweet honey and persimmons high in fructose. Although honey is a natural ingredient, but it contains a lot of directly absorbable sugar. 1 spoonful can make blood sugar go straight up. The same is true of high sugar fruits like persimmons. It's okay to eat 1 or 2. But if you eat it as dessert, the sugar complex in the body is still very large. And sugar cane. Chewing sugar cane directly is equivalent to drinking sugar water. Even starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes may be a bad guy in disguise. Sweet potatoes are rich in nutrients, but starchy, glycemic index is not low, especially sweet potatoes into porridge. When cooked soft, waxy, faster digestion and absorption. Blood sugar also rose rapidly. Therefore, Japanese experts warn people with high blood sugar. These high-season edible plants are high-sugar foods. It's the culprit that makes blood sugar go out of control. Eat less if you can. There is also a hidden danger from liquid sugar. Diabetes specialist Shinji Kita warns. One of the things he would never touch are various sugary drinks, include seemingly healthy juices. Drink a bottle of soda or a glass of juice. It is equivalent to pouring a large amount of glazed candy into the blood vessels. Not only does sugar rise fast, and excess fructose can be found in the liver. Converted to fat, it makes you fat over time. Worse insulin action. More susceptible to diabetes. On the contrary, boiled water and sugar-free tea are the best drink choices. Of course, not all carbohydrates are monsters. Some coarse MSG delicate staple food. Because it contains fibers and more complex structures, your blood sugar goes up much more slowly. For example, the GI value of brown rice, only about half of the 100 meters. Therefore, the root cause of diabetes is not eating carbohydrates. It's about eating too much carbohydrate. As the Japanese expert put it, the way you consume carbohydrates is important. If we eat too much refined starch at every meal, lack of fibrous protein to buffer blood sugar, ups and downs all year round, the function of the islets will be dragged down sooner or later. Luckily, fighting these sugar bane We also have life-saving foods that lower blood sugar. Japanese research and many nutritional findings. There are several types of foods that can be called the nemesis of high blood sugar. Regular consumption can help stabilize blood sugar, like sending out heroes to deal with bad guys. The first hero, zygomatic grains rich in dietary fiber. One of them is oats. Oatmeal is a coarse grain. Its fiber content, much higher than refined white rice and white bread. Rich in dietary fiber, it can delay the absorption of sugar in the intestines. Let your blood sugar rise more slowly after a meal. Not so steep. And here's what's amazing. Oats contain a substance called beta, soluble fiber of dextrin. It increases insulin sensitivity, helps the body use blood sugar more effectively. A bowl of oatmeal for breakfast provides energy without raising blood sugar levels. It is an ideal choice for people with high blood sugar. The second hero, beans, any kind of bean. Soybeans, black beans. Legumes such as red beans are not only a high-quality source of protein, it's also rich in fiber and minerals. Pulses are digested slowly. Glycemic index is generally low. Eating beans can stabilize blood sugar, provides a sense of fullness for a long time. Not easy to get hungry. And here's what's even better. Beauty in beans. Elements like potassium help insulin work properly. Tofu is commonly found on Japanese tables. Natto is actually a good helper for sugar control. For example, natto is rich in protein and natto enzyme. This fermented soy food has very little effect on glycation. It's good for the cardiovascular system. Kill two birds with one stone. The third hero, nuts and healthy fats. Don't underestimate the walnuts in the snack bowl. Almond cashews. Eat these nuts in moderation. Great for blood sugar control. Nuts are rich in unsaturated fatty acids, protein, and fiber. The glycemic index is almost 0, but it can delay the absorption of sugar from other foods. I'm hungry and eat a handful of small nuts. Satisfy cravings without significantly raising blood sugar. And the good oils in nuts. Can it also improve insulin sensitivity? But be careful. Nuts are not low in calories. A handful is enough. Don't accidentally treat it as a melon seed and knock it non-stop. The fourth hero is high-protein foods such as fish. Deep-sea fish, lean meat. Eggs are protein-rich ingredients. It is the indispensable protagonist of the sugar table. Take fish, for example, and fish is only about 40. Much lower than equivalent rice. And protein itself doesn't raise blood sugar. Instead, it stays in the stomach for a long time and slow down the absorption of carbohydrates. So if there is fish and meat in a meal, blood sugar rises more slowly than just eating rice. And in addition, fish is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. It also helps reduce inflammation, cardiovascular protection, better health for people with diabetes. The Japanese love to eat raw and grilled fish. Maybe it's their diabetes rate. One of the secrets that used to be lower. The fifth hero. Vegetables rich in special plant nutrients. Various leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables are low in calories. High fiber is recognized as a good food for lowering sugar. For example, broccoli is also called broccoli. Is the star representative. Broccoli is not only rich in fiber, can slow down sugar absorption. It also contains a special ingredient, glucosinolates. Metabolizes carotene in the body. There are studies that find carotene. It prompts the liver to make less glucose. Helps lower blood sugar. In the experiment, let people with type 2 diabetes take concentrated cauliflower sprouts extract. A few months later, fasting blood sugar and glycated hemoglobin. Although eating an extra plate of broccoli, it doesn't necessarily have an immediate effect, but in the long run, eat more of these phytochemical-rich vegetables, like bitter gourd onion. Tomatoes, etc. have great significance for smelling blood sugar. Bitter gourd is especially worth mentioning. It's called phytoinsulin. Dried bitter gourd contained in it can lower blood sugar to some extent. In Okinawa, Japan, people love bitter gourd scrambled eggs. It is said that this is also the local longevity and a major factor in the lower diabetes rate. In summary, fiber-rich whole grains, healthy beans, protein, and oils, and various vegetables and fruits. Be careful to choose varieties with lower sugar content, such as beautiful fruit, citrus, etc. They are all obedient friends of blood sugar. They smooth the blood sugar release. Don't mess with insulin. Bring these foods to the table often. Blood sugar is naturally obedient, no longer soar easily. In addition to selecting the type of food, Japanese blood sugar experts have a lot of tricks. It can help us in our daily diet. Make blood sugar more stable? It's even a little weird. Kuwan, pay attention to the eating sequence. Vegetables first and then staple food day. Our doctors have come up with the golden rule of meal order. Eat vegetables first with meals. Eat meat again, protein such as fish. Then drink soup. Finally move the chopsticks to eat the rice, bread, and other staple foods. Why arrange it this way? It turns out that before meals, start with a salad or vegetable soup rich in fiber. Fiber forms a barrier in the stomach, slow down the digestion and absorption of subsequent starch sugars. Simultaneous addition of protein and fat It can also delay gastric emptying. Wait until the last staple. Glucose will slowly, little by little, into the bloodstream. Doesn't shock insulin all at once. Many patients practice this eating sequence and find that postprandial blood sugar spikes are significantly reduced. Before eating big fish and meat from a Chinese restaurant next time, you might as well eat a few mouthfuls of fried vegetables first. Don't worry anymore. The delicious food behind made the blood sugar soar. In addition, Japanese experts also recommend season it with a little vinegar. It turns out that acetic acid has the effect of inhibiting amylase, can further slow down the decomposition and absorption of carbon and water. No wonder Japanese cuisine loves vinegar-mixed vegetables. Vinegar side dishes are not just for flavor. Or is there hidden wisdom in sugar control? Coup 2. Chew slowly. Chew each bite 30 times. Eating wolf is a common problem for many modern people. However, eating too fast. Not only is it easy to eat too much, it leads to obesity. It also causes a sudden increase in blood sugar levels. The brain requires approximately... It takes 20 minutes to receive a signal that it is full. If you eat too fast, you will overdose unknowingly. Japanese diabetes Dr. Remoto Yoshi strictly require patience. Each bite of food should be chewed at least 30 times. Eating slowly helps food mix well. Amylase in saliva. Advance in the mouth. Start to break down some of the carbohydrates. Instead, it makes the subsequent digestion process more relaxed and even no concentrated absorption occurs. The resulting blood sugar rush. In addition, eating slowly can also keep the brain in time. Feel full. Avoid overeating. Try it from dinner tonight. Put down your phone and chopsticks. Savor every bite. Delicious will last longer. Blood sugar will also be more stable. Coup 3 tricks to use tableware in the environment. Controlling food intake. Sometimes we all know the truth, but I just can't keep my mouth shut. Japanese nutritionists share some tips. Helps reduce food intake without feeling hungry. For example, change a smaller size rice bowl to hold rice. The same ball of rice is placed in a small bowl. Will appear full. Visually feel like eating a lot. In fact, I have actually eaten less than usual. Another example is to use slightly heavier dishes and chopsticks. In this way, every time you send it to the entrance, you will feel that your hands are heavy. Need a break? You're slowing down your eating. Some people just use dividers. Put vegetables and meat. The staple food is packed in different grids. This way, you can clearly see which categories you have eaten. Remind yourself to eat a balanced diet, not just focusing on staple food, bite by bite, except for cutlery. Small environments matter. I want to avoid the temptation of dessert. Then don't put the cake in front of you. A doctor in Japan recommended, put high-sugar snacks deep in the closet, or places that are not often seen from high places. Even put a note. It can only be opened when the greedy insects come. Out of sight, out of mind. Reduce the opportunity for temporary food cravings. Same reason. Clean up the leftovers immediately after dinner. Don't stay on the table waving so as not to waste food. Eat another round. With these little tricks, to battle your appetite, we can keep our mouths shut more easily. Coup 4. Adjust your work and rest. Avoid late-night snacks and staying up late. Many office workers have a busy day. Dinner is late. Even hungry before going to bed. Japanese experts remind, long dinner too late? Calories are too late to burn. It is easy to become fat accumulation. And eating late at night can interfere with insulin rhythm, causing high blood sugar levels at night. Ideally, dinner is best eaten in the evening. There are 4 or 5 hours to digest from sleep. If you eat late because of overtime, then try to reduce the amount of carbohydrates. Avoid overloading the stomach. If you feel hungry before going to bed, try to endure it, or use very low-calorie snacks like cucumber sticks. Clear soup to pad the stomach. Don't eat too many snacks and desserts. The more direct way is to go to bed earlier. Avoid staying awake late at night. Naturally, not greedy. Develop the habit of going to bed early regularly. Not only does it make the body's hormone secretion healthier, it is also helpful for blood sugar control. Coup 5. Moderate drinking is not necessarily all taboo. The average person thinks diabetics should abstain from alcohol altogether, but Dr. Yuan proposed a surprising point. A small amount of alcohol, the impact on blood sugar is not as bad as expected. He pointed out that although alcohol contains calories, but it doesn't directly raise blood sugar. Instead, the body metabolizes alcohol preferentially. In the process, the liver temporarily reduces glucose output, so sometimes drink in moderation. Instead, it makes drinking the next morning. Blood sugar is slightly lower than usual. Certainly, this is not to encourage people to drink alcohol as medicine. Excessive alcohol consumption can damage liver and pancreatic function. Increased other health risks. And beer. Sweet cocktails also contain a lot of carbohydrates. The conclusion of the Japanese experts is actually that if you are used to drinking, a moderate amount of sake and red wine is acceptable, but you don't drink. And you don't have to drink to lower your blood sugar. Anyway, grasp a degree. Remember to drink. You can see it. Japanese blood sugar experts, many of them are small suggestions for life. Seemingly ordinary, but there is scientific truth. These tips range from what to eat to how to eat. How to avoid eating too much. All-round help, we battle high blood sugar. It's these little habit changes can add up to significant health effects. After years of research and practice, not only Japanese experts, the global medical community's approach to diabetes prevention and control, some recent agreements have been reached. Diet control and lifestyle adjustments. It is the cornerstone of the fight against second-sex diabetes. That is to say, diabetes is not a terminal illness. Through healthy living strategies, we can totally suppress it. Even reverse in some cases. In terms of diet, modern co-eating advocates balance and moderate eating patterns, rather than just completely abstaining from a certain food. People used to talk about sugar color change. Just don't touch any sugary foods at all. There's no need to go overboard. The key is to choose the right amount of carbon and water control. For example, replace some refined white staple foods with cheekbone grains. Eat more fruits and vegetables to increase fiber. Reduce added sugar and sugary drinks. These are the National Nutrition Guidelines, the unanimously recommended sugar control medication. Also, make sure you get enough protein and healthy fat, because they not only provide essential nutrients, it also helps delay the rise in blood sugar after meals. Mediterranean diet. Japanese and Chinese traditional cuisine. In fact, each has its own hypoglycemic advantage. The former is rich in nuts, olive oil, the latter is more vegetable heavy. Tofu fish. These healthy eating patterns emphasize natural ingredients. Variety and not excessive intake. Long-term adherence can help prevent and control diabetes. Maintain a healthy weight. Recognized as one of the core goals of sugar control, obesity, especially abdominal obesity, will significantly reduce insulin action. Therefore, weight loss is important for people with high blood sugar. They often have immediate benefits. Studies have shown that even if you lose 5% to 10% of your weight, glycemic control and metabolic markers in diabetic patients will significantly improve. If you can lose more weight, even reach your ideal weight, blood sugar in a subset of patients with type 2 diabetes may fall back into the normal range, achieving so-called clinical remission of diabetes. This is why doctors often say to manage diabetes. 7 points are eating, 3 points are moving. Diet control intake. Exercise burns calories. Grab with both hands. To effectively lose weight, there's no nutritional imbalance. Regular motion is another pillar of lifestyle adjustment. During exercise, muscles directly consume blood sugar. It also increases insulin sensitivity, makes cells more willing to absorb glucose. After a meal, take a 30-minute walk or engage in light exercise. Can significantly reduce postprandial blood sugar spikes. In the long run, adhere to at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, like fast walking. Bike dance. With 2 or 3 resistance strength training sessions, it builds muscle. Reduce fat. This helps maintain blood sugar stability over the long term. Japanese office workers likes to walk or bike to work after a meal. The accumulation of these daily activities, it is beneficial for preventing diabetes. On the other hand, sitting for a long time, it is regarded as a new health killer. Modern medicine calls on everyone to stand if they can. Don't sit. Don't lie down if you can move. In addition to diet and exercise, good sleep and emotional management. Also included in the latest sugar control recommendations, lack of sleep and chronic stress interferes with hormone balance in the body, elevated stress hormone levels. This causes blood sugar fluctuations. Sometimes I pay attention to my diet, but because of the high pressure or staying up late, blood sugar is still not well controlled. Scientists emphasize that regular work and rest guarantee 7-8 hours of sleep. And through yoga, meditation, listening to music, etc., to relax the mind, it's also part of comprehensive diabetes management. The physical and mental state is stable. The endocrine environment is more conducive to blood sugar stability. The good news is, now advances in medicine and technology are also helping. We're getting better control of our blood sugar. Continuous glucose monitoring equipment. Let people keep track of their blood sugar changes. So as to adjust the diet and exercise in time, the mobile app can record the diet and provide a nutritional analysis. It's like a personal nutritionist. Remind us to pay attention to the details of sugar control. Even new drugs and surgeries are coming along, make diabetes management more diverse. But even so, lifestyle interventions remain the foundation of the foundation. As the doctor said, drugs are auxiliary. Your own lifestyle is the protagonist. Saying so much, we can go back to the beginning of the story. The hard-working diabetic Hogan. More than half a century of Japanese physicians. Finally, tell everyone, control the quality and quantity of carbohydrates is the key to staying away from diabetes. Simply put, just keep your mouth shut, open your legs, and relax. It sounds like it's all a little trite thing, but it's these seemingly mundane choices determines the concentration of that cup of sugar water in our bodies. Diabetes is not a big deal. The scary thing is, we take our health for granted. Now, we've uncovered the mastermind behind rising blood sugar. I also met many food heroes who lower blood sugar, also mastered the Japanese experts. All kinds of great ideas recommended. The rest is to integrate this knowledge into your life. Eat smart, move diligently, manage your weight and mood well. So, even if you occasionally enjoy a piece of cake, a bowl of ramen, our bodies, there is also enough buffer electricity to deal with it, so as not to let the blood sugar get out of control. And finally, remember, healthy ways to control sugar, not to suppress the joys of life, but in a smarter way. To enjoy food and life. It's a wonderful story to tell. We can also get along peacefully and beautifully with sugar. May you and I both be the masters of our own blood sugar. Let diabetes step aside. Let the sweet life no longer have the shadow of distress. Hold this key in your hand. Protect our healthy life.